Maoris are 17, Wales 13. Chester Burrows.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. It's always gratifying to hear your words come back to you, and I believe that I was the person in the first reading of this speech to tell my friend who's just resumed his speech that yes, those victims of sexual abuse and child abuse need to be supported, and it's got to come out of the taxpayer's pocket, and we don't care what bucket it comes from. And that is a firm priority. But the point I want to make in respect of this bill is this. It seeks to put victims at the heart of the justice system, and I believe that victims are at the heart of the justice system. But what we need to recognise as a community and as a civilised society is this, is that some of the victims in the centre of the justice system are there as complainants, there as victims of crime, and there as witnesses, and other victims of crime are in the court system as offenders. Because when we talk about abuse, we talk particularly about sexual abuse and violence abuse, those victims go on to become offenders. And what is very, very easy for some of our lobbying groups within this country is to regard everyone as a victim up to a certain stage, and as soon as their victimisation is shown in their own offending behaviour, automatically all sympathy is chopped off. They become labelled as offenders, and that's it. And they are due absolutely no regard whatsoever, and that is wrong, and that is uncivilised to treat people in that way. And this piece of legislation then recognises that people who are in prison, who have grievances against the prison system, whereas they may well be upheld and whereas they may be compensated in some way, if there is outstanding debt that they owe to society or to their own victims directly from the response of their own behaviours, then they won't be able to access any financial compensation, or they will still get regard in other ways, whether that be in terms of redressing the wrongs that have been made against them. And I am pleased to see that we do have the support from the other side of the House on this, and I acknowledge that it was the other party, when it was in government, that actually started the work on this bill. We look forward to the upcoming legislation that will replace it. But I just want to reiterate as I sit down, what we need to do if we're going to call ourselves a civilised society is recognise that the vast majority of people in our prison cells at the moment have been offended against in heinous ways, and their resulting behaviour is to be expected. And we need to take some understanding of that, show some understanding of that, and treat them accordingly in the way they deserve to be treated.
The Honourable Nanaia Mahuta.